Welcome to UC Today. My name's David Dungay. We are here reporting live from the GITEX in Dubai. I'm here with Zeus Kerravala. How are you doing, Zeus?
I'm doing great, Dave. We got a quick meeting like this. Every year we're here, right?
I know. Fancy meeting you again.
Yeah.
So, Zeus, we're here on the Avaya stand. Lots of stuff going on behind us. I really want to pick out a few of the interesting things that are going on.
Sure.
CCaaS. Avaya's been talking about CCaaS for a while. What's going on with Avaya and CCaaS right now?
Yeah, it was actually at GITEX in 2018, if you remember, that they first announced CCaaS. And since then, I've had a lot of questions from customers, partners, competitors. Does Avaya really have CCaaS? And the answer is yes, kind of. Right? It wasn't available everywhere. It was a very first generation product, voice only and things. But at this show, I think there was a lot of proof points. I talked to a handful of customers here who are all using the CCaaS product. They're all using certainly all the digital channels, social media, SMS, email, things like that, and a lot of them are also using the voice channel. So I do think it's a real product now that they're selling to a customer of all different sizes. And I asked one of them, actually I asked them all why they're using Avaya CCaaS, given it's fair to say they're late to the game. And one of the customers said, in his opinion, they were the most open platform that's out there. And so there's no two customers that are the same, right? And customers have different needs. And so in every deal, even with a SaaS offering, you're going to want to do some customization. And the customers I talked to, it's very, very easy to work on top of Avaya CCaaS, be able to use their APIs and things to customize the product, and do a lot of really interesting, innovative things, contextual routing and things that you can't do with an off-the-shelf product. And I mean, you can, but it's not going to be tailored to your organization. So I think we'll remember GITEX 22 as the year that CCaaS really showed up for Avaya in a big way.
That's a huge USP for Avaya, being that open, being able to develop on top of and being so bespoke. That's great news. So,
I was thinking about this, that sometimes being late to market isn't such a bad thing, because you think about how much technology in the cloud has changed from the first versions of CCaaS, right? When we didn't really have cloud native, we had monolithic stacks of software in the cloud, and a lot of those vendors now are having to go rebuild their product to be cloud native, where Avaya, because they were later to market, now actually is starting with a blank slate and is able to build off cloud native technology. And so that should give them an advantage moving forward, I think.
Fantastic. So one of the other big pieces of news here is the Metaverse, solution we see in partnership with Avanza, I think it is. Yeah. What was your take on that? Avaya bringing contact center to Metaverse, what does it mean?
Yeah, well, Metaverse is a funny term. Everybody uses Metaverse for a different thing. I'm still not convinced Metaverse, the Facebook way or something, makes a lot of sense, that people are going to live in the Metaverse, right? Like Second Life was. I do think this is a very interesting use case, though. And it reminds me of a quote that Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, said, where everything software will eventually have a digital twin built in it. And so the example they gave here was they actually built a digital twin of the software process used for a business to come open up shop in Dubai. Now, that is a non-trivial task. It requires looking at real estate, checking out views. Do I want to look at the Burj Khalifa? Do I want to look at the frame? It requires getting a bunch of permits, visa processing, immigration things. And so there's a bunch of steps you have to take along the way. It's all tied together with blockchain. So that process could take months sometimes. You come here, who knows, years in some cases. Now you do it all in the Metaverse. If you have a problem, you can speak to a Metaverse agent that's running on the Avaya CCaaS product, and then they can help you through the process. But once that's all done, you just upload the information to the real system and you're all done. And so it's taken a lot of the complexity out of it and moved it into software, moved into that digital twin. And I actually think that's something all governments should be looking at. I mean, anytime you try and do anything with the government, it's never easy, right? But one of the things I like about the Middle East, especially Dubai, is the government is very forward thinking, and so public sector here drives a lot of innovation, and I think the use of Metaverse to improve public sector actually was very creative and innovative, and kudos to both Avaya and its partner for thinking that.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. This region as a whole, they're really driving some of this Metaverse narrative, which is great to see. So finally,
first the blockchain, right? They're very aggressive with crypto, so they're not everything's going to stick. But if there's a way to apply it to citizens and to make business better, this region's going to find a way.
So let's talk about the broader partnerships. There's so much going on behind us right now. What were kind of some of the good partnerships that leapt out at you that we haven't discussed already?
Yeah, well, Verint's one of them here that's a major partner, and they've been an Avaya partner for a long time. So anytime you want to do workflow automation, they really are the de facto standard in the industry. Some of the other interesting ones I thought, Unifor is here as well. They're a cloud-native conversational AI company. I've been following Unifor since John Chambers first invested in it back, a couple of years ago. And they're a very interesting company because they've treated conversational AI as a platform. They started with looking at data, then they built voice, and then a few years ago they bought a company called Emotion Research Labs that actually does emotion detection, facial recognition for when that becomes more contact center integrated. So I like that partnership. Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise is also here. They're a name that we haven't really heard about in a while, but they've got a co-sell relationship with Avaya now where, in fact, all the network stuff in the stand is actually powered by ALE Enterprise, and ALE actually sells Avaya's CCaaS. That's worked out pretty well. And so I think one of the takeaways for me is that the open platform that we discussed before, being cloud native, when you're cloud native, integrating other cloud native platforms is actually very easy. Where I think back historically, when you partner with somebody and they were a monolithic software stack and you were a monolithic software stack, it took a long time for that integration to happen. And then, heaven forbid, somebody made a change, right? Then all these changes had to happen in the back end. But I like the partnership model for Avaya because while they're a big company, they're not like a web scale giant. And so for them to keep up with a lot of bigger companies, it is through partnership. And so they can bring in some of these best of breed vendors like Unifor to complement what we do with the Cognigy, and they can bring some great innovation to their customers very quickly. And so I think the partnership model for this company is the right thing to do.
Fantastic. I'm going to put you on the spot now, Zeus. One of the taglines of the event, and it has been for a few years now, is experiences that matter. We talk about customer experience a lot on UC Today and our sister publications as well. What are your big sort of wishes or predictions for the next 12 months in CX? What do you think is going to happen?
I think it gets a lot more automated, right? And in fact, I was talking with one of the Avaya customers, and he said the best interaction with a contact center is the one that never happens. And so this is where businesses really fall down, I think, in some cases. Like if you're say a broadband operator and your service goes down, why not notify your customers in advance? Instead, what happens is you let all your customers call in, you got to staff up your contact center, and you're spending a lot of extra money where just a handful of SMSs would have gone a long way. And I think businesses now are starting to understand how I use automation, how I use all these digital tools to be able to avoid contact center interactions, which actually takes your customer satisfaction way up. And so I think this is an industry that's been way behind the eight ball on that kind of stuff, but I think you're going to see more and more of that coming. And a lot of that has to do with just the maturity of artificial intelligence itself. It's a lot better today than it was last year, and it's going to be a lot better a year from now than it is today.
Fantastic. So, Zeus, it's always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your time at GITEX.
You as well.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today.